Good morning, Val, Simon, and Kane. How you doing, buddy? It is. It is. We're going to talk all about our bud Kane today. How exciting! I'll give it a few more seconds, just to get everybody else out, and yeah, we'll have a natter about Mr. Kane. Uh, hmm. You know, I reckon we just crack on. Oh, gosh, I can't wait for hairdressers to open. Looks fine. Oh, is that referencing the focus from like? Right, nice one. Right, well, so today is Wednesday. Hey, mum. Um, uh, and we're in March, and we're going to talk about Kane here. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I showed you. It might have even been this one. I've only been out with Kane twice, and so way back in beginning of actual March, I think. Real March. I may have showed you one of two walks. We did the same walk twice. So anyway, I'm going to talk about that walk. Now we're in imaginary walk, so we've come right back up to ourselves. I don't think I explained myself at all then, but you get my point. Now, Val, I hope you don't mind me sort of giving a bit of context to Kane and how I met him, and the environment in which he met. I'll keep it quite brief because you guys don't need to know the nitty gritties of it. But I was told that before meeting this young man, that he was sort of one of the most complex young gentlemen in Bradford, and his emotional anxiety is so temperamental that he needs 3 members of staff at all time, and things like the maglock doors they don't use them because Kane will just pull out if he needs to leave the room. So I walked in to meet Kane way back in March, April, a year ago. Wow. And he was sat in his own classroom, in his own room, with a computer that he would watch clips of videos on YouTube. Like, not a whole video, just he'd scrub up and down the timeline. And then he'd walk out into his own personal yard, and then he'd come back in. And then he'd be escorted from his own classroom into group rooms to make some food, to go for the outside space. But there were so many noises in his school that made him anxious that he didn't like leaving his personal space. So the idea of taking him out into the public and out into the wild, the school, the staff was so scared, so apprehensive, so cautious, because he could become unpredictable. So I've spent months just building a relationship, just spending time with him, trying to engage with him. And this is, I think, the first time that we were out and Hyde Park staff, the school he attends, weren't with us. It was just me, Kane, and Mum. And it was amazing. It was a truly remarkable day. I've been pushing from the moment I saw Kane to get him away from people. He doesn't like noise, he doesn't like distractions. Let's take him to the hills, let's take him to the mountains, the moors, the fells, the lakes, the dales, wherever. Just get him off the track and away from people and see what happens. That lack of control was really intimidating for everybody involved. And I finally got my way, and we took him. It was only a short walk, and it's we're in one of those environments that if he decides to do a runner, it doesn't matter. The visibility is a couple of miles in every direction. The terrain is that difficult, he's not going to get very far. And that was it. So we off we went. We had the 3 of us, and then we had a support team sort of way back in case anything happened. And this is our adventure. We picked him up from his house. which was great because we didn't have the anxiety of the school build-up. There was no stress from the other students. And got into my car, and we drove to a nice quiet car park, and off we went. And this is what happened. And I could leave it there. I could just show you that one photograph, and go make a cup of tea now and call it a day. He holds himself so tight when he's in school. Brilliant story. Thank you very much, Jack. I'll do my best. So yeah, he holds him so tight in school, and he's like a coiled spring. And as you can see, as his pictures go on, his shoulders will relax, and he sort of, his whole posture and his demeanour change. I wish we had video to sort of back what I'm saying up. And then as he got more relaxed and more chilled, he just disappeared and went off on his own. And he'd walk for a bit solo, making his little happy noises and just being Kane. And then every so often he'd turn around and come back to either me or Mum and sort of hold on to us for a bit of stability, a bit of security. And when he realised that we were always there, it only took 2 or 3 of these backwards and forwards to just become his own independent hiker. And yeah, this is a moment, like I say, he's holding Mum's hand for a minute and just spending time, making sure we're still there, still together. And that was our day. There was not permafrost. There was still some frost on the ground, so we loved the sound and the feeling of ice crunching. So we spent a little time at these puddles at the side of the track, happily crunching. You can see his trousers get progressively dirtier as we carried on doing this. But it was such a lovely set. I was doing it too. It was great. That sort of, it holds you it, and ka-chunk. That hand gesture, that's Kane's happy noise. So that's a smile. He doesn't always express it with an actual emotive grin, but if he's happy, that's happy. So that's Kane, just letting the world know that he's having time of his life. And as you can see, I'm just smiling too. That's me in the same spot. And again, you can see there's nobody there. There's nobody to worry about. There's nobody that Kane's worrying about. Me and Mum are just behind. And then, like I said, just out of sight, there's some support. And this is us just walking as a group of friends, enjoying our lovely countryside. And genuinely, these pictures speak for themselves, I think. I don't really need to talk over and explain much. This is, for Kane, his routine is his everything. And if it gets disrupted even fractionally, it can set him up for a bad day. So he has to have the same dinners at the same time and the same activities. And if they change, he gets upset. Now this was a complete departure from anything he'd done before. So we were building a routine as we went along. He was just having to trust us as adults, as friends, and as instructors, just to go with the flow. And we modelled it as best we could. We'll walk in, we're going to have dinner soon, we'll see this, and we prepped as much as we can, but this was all uncharted territory at this point, and he just took it like a troop. He was just so chilled and so happy, and just taking it all in. Look, I don't know if you remember that. That's called an aeroplane. We used to see them in the sky. But yeah, so we just stood there watching them drop and bob and fly. And I couldn't help but keep this picture in. Such a happy day. What a result. And then we just trekked on back, heading down the hill. I'm going to leave that picture on there. I'm not going to say anything, but Val, you know why this picture's here. You can see it. Kane saw it too. And then we just enjoyed walking back. As the day got on, the ground started to get a bit more muddy and a bit more slushy. But yeah, so that's the end of the pictures. That's it. I'll go back to a nice one of me again. Where are we? Look at that one. Beautiful. So that was it. That was a year of prepping and building up and testing the waters and it wasn't always smooth sailing with Arcane, but my plan, my resolve, and my image of how this service would look with Kane, every time it went where I'm like, I don't think this is going to work, it kind of, my instincts served me well. I don't want that to sound big-headed, but walking along the side of a road, for instance, and walking through a town, walking through villages, is stressful for a leader because you've got so many anomalies, so many things you can't control. So traffic, so shops, school kids, buses, dogs, bins to walk past, houses, barbecues, all these things that are all a path, and you are funneled in a direction. So when we were taking walks in the local community, they were difficult to manage and they were hard to navigate. And walking around school premises, walking through parks with playgrounds, there's so many variables that you had to manage. They were very difficult walks too. Kane's intuitive, even pick up when you're relaxed, when you're stressed. So when we finally got into an area where I'm comfortable, where I'm in control, where I can read the terrain, I can read the landscape, the weather, and I can relax, Kane felt it too. And I think these pictures display that quite well. And it's just an absolute heartbreaking shame that we managed to get to this place, and now I've had 3 months having to interact face to face, to give each other a cuddle or a sniff or a squeeze, and I just pray that these videos, these live chats, are enough to maintain the relationship that we built up. And I'm sure we'll get back on track soon enough. But I'm waking up thinking about it, guys. This is really a hard one to talk about. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I think I've spoken quite a lot about Kane and what a remarkable young man he is, and how hard he's worked to get into a place where he's comfortable and a relaxed young man. So before I start blubbing, I'm going to get now. Get outside as best you can. Just stay away from anybody. Wash your hands. Keep that doing regular. Don't go out unless you have to. Don't go around people. They're horrible. They've got their own issues too. Tangent now. Just keep your distance. Stay safe. Keep doing what we're doing. And before you know it, we'll be back out. Last I heard, schools are open in a couple of weeks. That'll mean maybe a month or so we should be back out, at least part time. And I'll be able to bring you new content, guys. Thursday, tomorrow, waterfall to look at with Aaron. It's been fantastic, mate. Loved showing you today's walk. And then Friday is the other week. It's still Mental Health Awareness Week team. As I've been saying all week, if you need to talk, you know how to get hold of us. We've got Facebook messengers, we've got phone calls, WhatsApp, the Twitter account. Everybody has ways of contacting me if you need to talk. I am here all day. I'm ready to listen and ready to help. So yeah, until tomorrow, guys, look after yourself.